Hey, my name is Mike O'Brien. I'm a Seattle City Council member, and today I want to talk to you about gas taxes and how there's a smarter way for us to invest gas tax money that would free up other revenue so that we could restore programs that are really critical to our communities right now, like education, healthcare, and human services, programs that are being cut at the state level. First, let me explain a little bit about gas taxes. Washington State's gas tax is 37.5 cents per gallon, and over the course of a year that generates a little over $2 billion. This bucket here is meant to represent that $2 billion in state gas tax revenue. Now, a little more than half of that stays at the state level to pay for state highway projects, and the balance, roughly about $700 million, goes to local jurisdictions like Seattle to pay for local road projects. Now, at the city level, our Department of Transportation has about a $300 million budget, but of that, only about $30 million is eligible for gas tax money. And that's because the 18th Amendment of Washington State's Constitution says that gas tax money can only be spent on road projects. So at the city level, this bucket of $30 million in road projects represents the road projects that are eligible for gas tax money. Now remember I said about $700 million of state gas tax money comes to local jurisdictions? Well, Seattle's portion of that is about $13.5 million. So we spend that on road projects, but we have about $30 million in projects. So that means we have a hole we have to fill with $16 million. And this pink $16 million represents general fund money. That's money at the city level that we could spend on anything, but because these road projects are critical, we're spending that on our road projects. Now, here's what we could do if we wanted to be smarter about how we invest gas taxes. Remember back in Olympia, our legislators are cutting programs like early education. These are programs that get 2 to 5-year-olds ready for kindergarten so that when they enter school they're ready to learn. Really critical programs. When they're making those decisions to cut that, they can make another decision. A decision to shift some of this state gas tax money to local jurisdictions. Now when they do that, in this example, let's assume that Seattle's portion of that is $16 million. So as a city council member, I can take this $16 million now, and I can use that to pay for these road projects that are gas tax eligible that we want to pay for. And what that does is it frees up $16 million in general fund money that I now can choose to spend however I want. And as a city council member in Seattle, I'm going to choose to spend that on early education programs. The same program that the state just cut, we are now restoring at the local level so that the kids in our communities have a chance to do well in school. So let me walk through how that happened again. We have $16 million at the city level that previously was being spent on road projects that now we're spending on early education. Over in the roads projects, we're still spending $30 million on our local road projects because we got an additional $16 million from the state's gas tax money. Now over at the state level, what had to happen is someone had to make the decision that funding education was more important than funding some of the state highway projects. Now we have a lot of big state highway projects going on right now, and we can make a choice. Do we want to cut education or do we want to cut highway projects? Maybe we decide that the scale of 520 bridge replacement needs to be a little smaller. Maybe instead of expanding I-5 across the Columbia River from 6 lanes to 12 lanes, maybe we only need to keep the existing 6 lanes. Or maybe we decide that the deep bore tunnel under Seattle is not the best use of a couple $2 billion right now. The point is that we have a choice to make. We can choose to cut our critical programs like education, or we can choose to cut highway projects. Put another way, we can decide that we want to invest in people instead of asphalt. Thank you.